Well, we're just getting started here for today. I just grabbed the camera out of the chopper. Ended up putting 100 gallons of fuel in it, and we're just going to climb up on top here and show you this field here. This is the last field of BMR that we have to chop for this year. I went 8 times around already here last night, and I've got, I did 10 rows first time around. We've got 2 varieties in the planter. You can kind of see the different stripes of the tassels up through there. We've got Pioneer and Brevant. The Brevant is the darker color tassel, and the Pioneer is the more greener tassel. It's there's 2 varieties planted in this field. The 2 varieties that are planted in this field are both 114-day varieties. So Nate's just pulling in here with the Army truck, and we have some repairs to do this chopper. Before we get going, we've had trouble with this shaft on this left-hand side. This shaft, when this head folds back down, that drives the left side of the head. I was going along last night, and this side stopped turning. Now, we broke that shaft twice already this year, and we found out that the clutch was not slipping on this side, so that's what was causing the shaft to break on this side. However, right now what we have wrong is this drive collar here is rounded off, and it's actually working like a slip clutch now. So we've got to pull these collars off, and I've got 2 options. I could put new ones on, which I don't have the new ones. I've got one for this shaft here. I can switch them. I can put this side on the other side, and then I'm going to have to replace 4. Or we could take a grinder and cut it with a zip wheel right here and take the roundness out of that gear there until we get some new ones. And we're going to have to pull this one off and the mating side up on this wing here. So we're going to go ahead and pull them off. What do you think we should do, Nate? Grind it with a grinder or switch sides?
Grind it with a grinder.
Oh man, I didn't want to do it that way, but oh well. Yeah, so we'll get that pulled apart and see if we can't get after it here. All right, we have our drive couplers off. There's a spring on this top one that's on the ground. It pushes the shaft down so that when you go to engage this, if the knuckles here end up hitting on top of each other like this, it just has to spin a little bit and then it'll drop down into place. So this coupler, what it was doing is when it's together like this and it's got enough torque on it, it'll actually ride itself up over the top of that ramped part of the flat spot that's supposed to be a flat spot, and this gear overcomes the spring and then sets back down again. So we've got this used one here that came off of the first broke shaft. We were going to switch sides, put this over on the other side and change them that way, but we're just going to put this one up on the up in the wing, and then we're going to pull the bottom one off the outside and get this switched here. We are ready to go. We put the used coupler on this shaft here on the wing. This one here is from the other side, and then the one that we have on the other side is the one that came off of the left side. So it's going to be turning against this square side here. So that should work. So what we're going to do now is pull ahead, or actually I'll back up, and we'll unfold it, run it, make sure it's going to work here. Alright, we are good to go. The drive couplers are going to work. Everything is all back together here. That tube on this side wasn't quite long enough, so we cut a piece off of it and then cut a piece off of another one to get the length to be what it's supposed to be here. This corn that we have to chop today, like I was saying, is the last of the BMR. And it's only 35 acres or so. Just shy of 40 actually. In this field, we should have this done by 1 o'clock or so. And then we'll get the BMR bunk covered because we're supposed to get 1.5 inches of rain here maybe tomorrow. So, be good to get this done. Right? Alright, we're up and going. Everything's working perfectly. The two varieties of corn that are planted in this field are a little more pronounced in this shot here. You can see that we have Brevant on this side here and the Pioneers on the other side. Now the northern corn leaf blight has a tendency to bother the Brevant BMR more than it does the Pioneer. We have applied fungicide to this. We applied it right at about the time it started to tassel. However, the fungicide doesn't last the whole duration of the final stages of the plant the final stages of the plant growing prior to chopping it. However, it's been quite a while since that last application of fungicide was applied. Now we're running right at 65% moisture, and we're running somewhere around 22 to 25 ton currently in this field here right now. So we're gonna have Alex loaded about the time we get to the end of the field here, and we have went that far. So I better get my other hand freed up here, or I'm going to be blowing silage on the ground, because we're getting it rounded up here pretty good. And I need to start moving that spout around. So we'll join up with you here in a little while. bit of a wet hole here. Chopping this outside time around the field here, and he's gonna get another restart on this. We chopped the last time on him as well, and I thought we were doing good in this spot. Dump wagon has got a load on it. Alright, I think he's got it now here. So alright, so he was able to pull out of that one. Dump wagon was loaded when Jared pulled in. I thought I would chop this outside time around onto him, being that he was empty, and I chopped the last pass onto him and everything went fine. So we've got just a little bit to here, right here to do. And then we've got some in the middle there to get done. Alright, if I can get the dump wagon to jump in here and get this little bit, or Jared can turn around. Probably be best if Jared turned around, then I wouldn't have to put anything more on that dump wagon. Davey ended up dumping the dump wagon onto, looks like Sarah's in here right now, and we could probably cut him loose. So we'll just wait for Jared to get turned around here. We'll grab this last little bit, throw it on him, then we can start chopping up through the middle here. Got, I don't know, maybe 48 rows left here or so, and you can see that there's a slightly different colored tassel there on the 8 rows to my left, and that is the Brevant variety that we had in the planter. We had 8 rows of Brevant on one side of the planter and 8 rows of Pioneer P1449 on the other side. Both of them were 114-day varieties, and the Brevant is a little more susceptible to the northern corn leaf blight, like I was talking about earlier here, and it's kind of pronounced there in what you see with the different color tassel. Not only is it a different color tassel, but the plant is a little drier as well. So we've got just a couple more trucks here to load. Then we're going to try to get back to the farm here as quick as we can, get the BMR bunk covered. And I don't know if we'll have any more time today to chop anything or not, but we've got 4 or 5 days of conventional silage to chop here as well. We did use the dump wagon on the other side of this field. There's a pretty good sized side hill on the east side of this field. Once we get trucks switched out here, we'll fly over to that side. We've got Jared loaded here right now, and we'll let him go. We've got my nephew coming in behind him with truck 8, and then we've got Alex on deck with the Freightliner here. Sarah was here. She took a load off of the dump wagon, and I don't know if she's going to get topped off or not. Once we get going up that other side of the field here, we'll fly over to the other side of the field, and we'll show you this side hill that is quite prevalent on this one side here. It can be a little bit of a tricky field to chop with trying to make sure you have empty trucks to get around the steep parts, but all in all, it's a pretty good field to chop, whether we've got hay in here or corn. This is the first year that we've had corn in here. It was hay last year, and we've done some chopping videos from this field here before. We ended up demoing a 9900 John Deere chopper in here, chopping hay here last year, and we chopped some corn the year before with, actually it was 2 years ago, with 9800 on the other side of the road from this farm here. So I get squared up here, and we'll fly over to the other side of the field here in a second, and we'll show you what that looks like. Now we're going to have to get the drone landed here. I'm going to be out of battery here in a minute, and I don't want the damn drone landing in the corn. I'll never find the damn thing. We've got Colton loaded, and just before we land this drone, we'll fly you over and we'll show you what this side hill looks like on this other side of the field there. And then I need to get this drone flown back to the chopper, and we need to get it put away. So we've got pretty good sized side hill on this one north end here. Maybe the drone really doesn't do it any justice there, but from where the drone is all the way around, as I pan around, we've got pretty good side hill there. So we try to keep the loaded trucks up on top of the hill here, and we use the empty ones and or the dump wagon down over this other side here. So we better get flown back to the chopper here.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
And we're getting the low battery warning there right now. So, let's see if we can land it up on top of the chopper here. Well, this is the last of the BMR silage, like we were saying, for 2021. Going right on to Nate's truck right here, right now. So we've got a sprayer track right there. That is from applying fungicide. So what do we've got? We've got 4, 5, 8 rows going into the chopper. And it worked out just perfectly. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow. And we're going to be able to get the bunk covered here tonight. And then that's going to be it for BMR. We filled 4 bunks with this BMR silage. And we ended up having just enough bunk space and just enough corn to get them all full. And this is going to be the last little bit here in just a second, going through the chopper for BMR silage for 2021. And that's a wrap for the BMR. Well, that'll do her, folks. I am going to park this chopper in this Morton barn down at the end of this field. And I'm going to hurry back and help the guys get the bunk covered. Then I'll either come back over early in the morning or later on tonight and get this chopper ready for tomorrow. We could possibly get 1.5 inches of rain here tomorrow. It is Friday, October 15th. So we're due to get a good amount of rain here for the next couple days, and it's kind of nice to get done and through this stretch of corn and then get the bunk covered, and then we can get the rest of it here. So alright, we have the Army put together covering this bunk, and it is starting to sprinkle right now. So we're dumping the tires on the pad here and pushing them up against the blade of this 9410. So we're using the telehandlers to carry the tires up on top, and we need to get rolled out another piece of plastic here. Jared has the plastic in this one bucket, and he just takes one off and switches over. And we'll get another roll rolled out here. I need to get another truckload of tires dumped though. And away they go. Well, we've got this bunk all covered here now. And it has stopped raining, but the last half of this bunk we ended up covering in the pouring rain. But at least it's done. And this is what we'll feed next year while we're chopping, and after we get done chopping, we'll have fermented feed to go into the fall of next year after we get done chopping and while we're chopping. So that is gonna do it for this one, folks. I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.